Hello everyone, and welcome back to the MTG Advent Calendar. Today is the 21st of December, and we have been going at this for 3 weeks already. So yeah, time flies. But anyway, today is time to open the 2013 booster. So let's check that everything is correct here. And okay, perfect. Let's proceed to open the booster. Let's see what's in here today. There we go. I try to be careful as always. All right. Okay. Let's see. What's the card today? Oh. Okay, it's Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Oh, I thought this card came later in 2015. Okay, so it's one of these planeswalkers with all the text in the emulating the old kind of the magic text. So let's read the card. For 4 and 2 white mana, you can put 4 loyalty use counters on Elspeth. Opponents can attack Elspeth as though she were you. Any damage she suffers depletes that much loyalty. If Elspeth has no loyalty, she abandons you. Okay. Once during each of your turns, you may add or spend loyalty as indicated for the side effect. +1 creates 3 soldiers. Each is a white 1/1 creature, represents soldiers with tokens. Okay, this is like really old-timey. -3, all creatures in play with power 4 or greater are destroyed. And -7, for the rest of the game, creatures you control gain +2/+2 and flying. Okay, that's a mouthful. It's quite cumbersome to read this Planeswalker, but yeah, look at that art. It's from Rebecca White. Oh, you can tell it's her artwork, yes, just at a glance. Look at that. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but she's one of my favorite artists in this game. I don't even know how to describe her art. It's just so pleasing to the eye, you know. Yeah, and I don't think does Elspeth have this long hair? She usually has had shorter hair, right? I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with Elspeth. But yeah, look at the back here. This looks like wings also. No, are those wings? It kind of looks like wings, but I think it's just like the abstract background. Okay, really beautiful art. Yeah, and the card is not bad either. It's a shame because I don't use Planeswalkers that often. I'm not a huge fan of them, but still really, really good card. Okay. So, let's leave this on the background for a little while. And you know, I've had a lot of trouble finding a topic for today. I don't have a lot of interesting cards from 2013, but I have found something to talk about right at the last minute. Today I'm going to show you Spanish misprints and some other weird stuff. So you may want to open Scryfall for this video so you can check the text in English for the cards. I only have the cards in Spanish. But you may want to check the original text to compare. So let's take at the first card. This is Rurikthar, the Unbowed. And the important part is the bottom of the text here. It says, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, Rurikthar deals 6 damage to that player. And I bought this card recently for my Godzilla deck. This is, by the way, a card from 2013, so this is the card I found for this topic. But the problem is, this card doesn't work like I just read. Rurikthar actually deals 6 damage to any player that casts a non-creature spell, including you. So it doesn't affect just your opponents. This means that the Spanish card is actually better than the original English card. But it doesn't really matter because you're supposed to ignore the mistake and play the card like normal. But speaking of cards that are better in Spanish, here is a decent tomb from Magic 2012. And this is just a regular decent tomb. It says, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty average. But if we go back a year, we have this decent tomb. And it says, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So, it's such a small change, but it makes decent tomb go from a below average card to something completely busted. Like, this is reanimate levels of powerful. It can be even better if you are trying to reanimate your own creatures, so, because you don't have to pay life. So yeah, pretty crazy in this case. But misprints aren't always good. And I have an example here. Here I have Sigarda, Heron's Grace, and the activated ability, her activated ability, usually you pay 2 and you exile a card from your graveyard to create a token. But in Spanish, you have to pay 2 and exile a creature card. So she specifies that you have to exile a creature card. It's much less flexible. In English, you can exile lands, instants, and whatever, but here you can only use creature cards. So this one is a little bit worse in this case. And then I also have, what else? Oh yeah, some weird stuff. I think this is also a misprint, but it's so strange. So, this is Riptide Replicator, okay? The important part is the second line. It says, Riptide Replicator enters the battlefield with X charge counters on it. So that's pretty standard stuff. But if we take a look at the original printing, here on the second line, it says, Riptide Replicator enters the battlefield with X feeding counters on it. And that's feeding as in feeding power, not feeding literal food. And you can see it was changed here in the reprint, but this is so strange because charge counters already existed in Spanish. Like this is just a thing that you can only find it in this card, I think. So you can see here contadores de carga, and here contadores de alimentación. And yeah, it's strange because I can show you. I actually have where is it? Here. This is a black mana battery from 4th edition, and you can see here contador de carga, so that's a charge counter. And yeah, there was a charge counters had been a thing for a while in Spanish. They were translated just like in English. So I don't know why this happened here. I guess it's an error in translation or maybe some kind of mistake. Pretty interesting. And I also have here this Selesnya Guildmage. And this one is pretty interesting, the hybrid mana symbols. You can see here that it has the white mana symbol and then the red mana symbol, but this is meant to be a green mana symbol, so that's pretty interesting. And also, finally, I have this card from Planar Chaos. This one is time crafting in English, okay, but it was translated as Maestría del Tiempo, which translates literally to temporal mastery. Now, this translation, Maestría del Tiempo from time crafting, it's a little bit of a stretch. But crafting is, in this context, is a difficult word to translate. And I kind of see the logic here. Like, if you can craft time, you are a master of time, so temporal mastery. And okay, The problem is Wizards later printed a card named Temporal Mastery in English. And then in Spanish, they also translated it as Maestría del Tiempo. So we have two cards with the same name in Spanish. And unfortunately, I don't have an actual Temporal Mastery to show you, but you can check it out on Scryfall. That this one is this one is just funny. It's just a kind of it's not even a translation mistake or like a misprint. It's just something went wrong there. Someone forgot to check the database for card names. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Plenty of cards, but I think it's a great topic. So join me again tomorrow, and I'll open the 2014 booster. Bye bye.